Good morning. I wanted to just take a minute and do a little video on what's happening out there in the world with universal life insurance. And some of you have seen this article with Kyle Busch. And, I've said this forever and ever and ever. And this is exactly why I'll never use IUL and why you shouldn't either. And there are a lot of people out there that are leading companies selling IUL, and they are damaging people. They are hurting people because this stuff doesn't work. Another day, another indexed life disaster. This time it's Kyle Busch. Yep, the NASCAR champion. You suing Pacific Life for getting burned by the exact same trap I've been warning people about for years. Now, let me make it real simple. Universal Life has failed 3 times in 50 years or thereabouts, right? The first time it was just Universal Life, plain and vanilla. And the reason that it failed, or the reason it succeeded, is that they projected higher interest rates than the whole life policies that everybody had for permanent insurance back in the 80s. And so it looked better. And so these people went out and they replaced all these whole life policies with universal life because interest rates were super high. And some of these universal life policies were projecting 11, 14%, somewhere in that range. It was the easiest thing in the world to sell because people bought the numbers. You show somebody a ledger, that's what they think is going to happen. They don't realize that it's a projection. Okay. So when interest rates went down throughout the 80s, what happened? All those policies needed to be funded with more money, more money, more money. Well, your typical life insurance agent was there to scoop up and churn some more. So what they did is then they put you in variable universal life. And when we had this influx of dollars into the stock market from IRAs and 401ks and other ways to steal your money like that, what they did is they created variable universal life, which is basically the variable part of it is you have a sub account that is like a mutual fund. It's not a mutual fund, but it's like a mutual fund combined with term insurance. So think about that. You have all the expenses of term insurance. You have all the expenses of a mutual fund type of account, Wall Street account, and you combine them together, what they would say in the sales process, that the market is going up so fast, I can only show you 12%. Well, guess what? You show anything getting 12% every single year, and it's going to look good. Yep, that's how Dave Ramsey built his mansion, not really doing what he's telling you to do because he bought real estate and businesses, but he'll tell you, put your money in the stock market and you're going to earn 12%, which again, a lie. So what happened when the market went down? All of these policies were going to lapse. They had to be overfunded. I've worked on and saved thousands of these over my career. I have more experience in this than anyone else because I took over a firm where the guy was corrupt, and I fixed these policies, over 3,000 of them, for a major insurance company. So now everybody's finding out IUL doesn't work either. It doesn't matter the version, it ends the same way. The policy is designed to make the insurance company a lot of money, make them rich, not you. So this lawsuit spells it out in black and white. According to the complaint filed in North Carolina, Pacific Life and their agent, Rodney Smith, sold the Busches on an IUL package built on, this is a quote in there, unrealistic projections, misleading assumptions, and material omissions. Okay, unrealistic projections. Every single year you're going to get this return. Misleading assumptions. It's assuming all of the that you get that every single year and your insurance cost stays the same. And if it does that, then it will outpace the insurance costs. Again, misleading assumptions and material omissions, not telling everything that there is to tell. They told him he'd only need to make a few premium payments. Gosh, that sounds familiar. Then the policy would self-fund. These are all lies that are right there in the training manual on how to sell this stuff. And they would provide a tax-free retirement income for life. Does that sound familiar? If you've ever been pitched a universal life policy, you know this. That's the same sales pitch agents all over the country are using every single day right now. And I hope that this is a wake-up call for them. But when the numbers don't pan out, when the caps are cut, when policy charges rise, when policy charges rise, when crediting rates fall, it collapses like a house of cards. And in this case, Pacific Life allegedly pocketed millions in commissions while Busch lost over 8.5 million. Okay, millions in commissions to the company, to the agent, right? I mean, like everybody who collects it. Okay, so these policies aren't wealth strategies. They're ticking time bombs, and here's why. The interest crediting mirage. The returns are capped. Participation rates drop. The multipliers create the illusion of performance that rarely materializes. I'm going to say never materializes. Cost of insurance drain. Every year, internal charges grow, eating your cash value alive if you don't get that rate of return every single year. So leverage and lapse risk. Most ULs depend on loans for tax-free income, right? When the math fails, the loans compound, the policy implodes, and the client gets a tax bill from hell. That's exactly what happened here. Pacific Life's own emails bragged about guaranteed multipliers and even advised the agent to get money wired immediately to make the illustration work. The translation, they knew it wasn't sustainable, but they pushed it anyway. That's a lot of money, $8.5 million, right? And then here's the moral failure behind the financial one. The real scandal isn't the product, it's the system. These companies train agents to sell complex financial products most don't even understand. The sales rep makes a fat commission, the carrier collects the premium, and the policyholder gets left holding the bag when it really hits. Pacific Life even marketed this thing as a tax-free retirement strategy. That's investment advice, not insurance. How do they get away with that? The complaint even notes that executives tied the pitch to political fear-mongering, claiming that with the new administration, taxes were going up. So life insurance was the only place you can still park millions tax-free. That's not a fiduciary planning. That's predatory marketing dressed in a suit. Okay, so why I don't touch ULs, IULs, any kind of UL, and what to do instead. And I've said it for years. If your financial plan depends on the stars aligning, it's not a plan. It's a gamble. Hope is not a strategy, right? I'll never touch IULs or any UL because they rely on non-guaranteed elements. They shift all the risk to you, and they're engineered to fail once commissions are paid down the road. And they have like surrender charges that go on for over 10 years sometimes. If you want control, predictability, guaranteed compounding, you become the banker, not the product buyer. That's what I teach in Ownership and at Create Tailwind, to build a system where you own and control the capital, not some company using fancy math and marketing to control you. And now a world-class athlete with world-class advisors is in court trying to unwind a multi-million-dollar mess because he trusted a sales pitch instead of understanding the product and the system. After 38 years of teaching people about life insurance and how to use it in infinite banking and how to use it to grow your wealth and take over the banking function in your life, this lawsuit wasn't shocking to me. It's just another headline proving what I've said all along. Universal life doesn't work, and it never has. You can't outsource your wealth building products built on assumptions. You build it yourself. You become your own banker. You control your outcome. The difference between being a policy owner and being an owner, policy holder and being an owner. That's the difference. So the way to think about this is the policy is not really infinite banking. It's not really, it's just not infinite banking at all. The product is the material. It's kind of like if you had a lumber yard. Now, if you had a lumber yard, you'd have a bunch of lumber, a bunch of wood, materials. But if you had a paper mill with that same wood in it right next door, you have the ability to print money because now you can produce something, right? You can control the process. So that's the processing before you just have the material, right? So if you've got a UL or IUL, now's the time to review it. We can tell you the truth about it. And before you become the next headline, I'll show you how to run the numbers, get in-force illustrations, and use realistic numbers to see if this policy is going to be there. We'll expose the fiction will help you take back control of your money. I'm Jim Oliver, founder of Create Tailwind. I don't sell fear. I sell guarantees. I expose lies. Follow me when you're ready to stop playing Wall Street's game and you want to start owning the game.